Welcome, nerds, geeks, dorks, and anyone else who just wants to watch our show.
We're here in the Fortress of Nerditude to bring you all sorts of fun and interesting things.
And for me, to have bragging rights, for at least 2 weeks.
We are broadcasting glorious nerd person point of view.
And I am the cooler host.
We will have worldwide stories, local events, a Sherlockian mystery, and learn how to do some frightening makeup for your costuming and cosplay needs.
Hey, you forgot where on the virtual screen am I?
I didn't forget. I'm just not the biggest fan anymore, since that host coup by you.
It wasn't a coup. We had a deal and I won fair and square.
Well, today, Miss Bridget, you have to guess where we are. If you don't guess it, the cooler host crown is mine again.
This is true. However, I think I will guess it.
Me thinks not. Let's get the show rolling. Roll it, production people.
The Canadian company, Calamisil, seems to have finally solved the age-old conundrum. How can I have lightsaber battles without breaking my poor plastic lightsaber or actually hurting someone? After having success with their high-quality foam LARP weapons, Calamisil announced that they were beginning to develop the foam LED saber. The company hopes to launch their new product in May of 2016. Wow, Calamisil! You know what would be even cooler than a foam lightsaber? A real lightsaber!
Since reporting the discovery of water on Mars in September, the NASA Space Shuttle MAVEN, or Mars Atmosphere and Volatile Evolution, has continued to report some pretty amazing findings. More specifically, how Mars once had flowing rivers and immense lakes. But where, oh where, did all that surface water go? Quoting Bob Dylan, "The answer, my friend, is in the wind," said Michael Mayer, the lead scientist for the Mars Exploration Program. New measurements from MAVEN indicate that solar winds have taken the ions from the red planet's atmosphere. Solar wind has removed key life-supporting elements like oxygen and carbon dioxide. What's that, NASA? I couldn't really hear you. Because anytime I hear water on Mars, all I'm hearing is, when can I go? When can I go? When can I go?
Last week in Southern California, an unidentified flying object was seen by millions. That's right, a UFO was seen, reported, and recorded on video. Sadly, just hours later, the object was identified as the government gave word that they were conducting top-secret D5 ballistic missile tests. Hey. Everyone calm down. Don't worry. It's not aliens coming to harvest your planet. It's just us, your government, blowing up missiles in the sky.
Earlier this month, it was announced that Activision Blizzard, the makers of World of Warcraft and Call of Duty, had acquired the rights to King Digital Entertainment for $5.9 billion. King D Entertainment is the mobile gaming company that pumped out a little gem called Candy Crush Saga. This news marks a turn in gaming as more gaming companies will aim their efforts to the ever-growing app atmosphere. Wait, let me get this straight. You paid how much for Candy Crush? You know it's free, right?
Earlier this year, we reported on Nerdalize, a Dutch company that had developed technology to transfer the heat radiating from computer data processing centers into homes. So when Amazon announced they would be the first US company to use the same type of system for their Seattle headquarters, we kind of just nodded and smiled. Now the internet giant has the system up and running. Amazon doesn't own the data center where it's getting the heat, but instead purchases the energy at a discounted rate where it will be 4 times more efficient than traditional heating systems, saving hundreds of thousands of dollars each year and about 80 million kilowatt hours of energy over the next 25 years. One thing I would love your help with, saving money on all the gifts I need to buy for the holiday season. With all the money you're saving on that fancy recycled heat, the least you could do is pay it forward.
Fans of the uber-cool video game Fallout have more to cheer about than just the release of its new game. Popular items from the game are now entering the real world, most notably Nuka-Cola Quantum. In the game, it can increase your action points and radiation. In the real world, it will increase your cavity count and need for a restroom.
If you haven't heard, there's a teensy-weensy little movie called Star Wars coming out on December 18th. Here are some wacky ways some people have been preparing. You could have yourself a Darth Vader burger. Or how about some Darth Vader toast? You could carry your books in a Chew backpack. right after you wake up in your Millennium Falcon bed, cradling your Millennium Falcon guitar. Shield your seats in your car with some good company.
Or you could always fix those holes in your life using the CP3O tape dispenser. Sometimes the holidays bring out the dark side in all of us. Class up your home or office with the Han Solo Carbonite desk. Freshen up with the latest line of Star Wars CoverGirl products. Show those burgers who's boss with the lightsaber barbecue fork.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. Speaking of crazy, let's get a little loco with local events. Hit it! Everyone's favorite spy is back. Bond. James Bond. With the 24th movie recently being released, what's not to celebrate? That's a lot of movies. Celebrate the iconic character by listening to music from the films on November 28th at the Colorado Symphony.
Make your Mondays more fun with Magic Mondays. Stop by the Wizard's Chest every Monday at 5 to play Magic the Gathering. Still need more gaming in your life? The Enchanted Grounds coffee shop slash Gametorium has you covered. Play Dungeons & Dragons every Wednesday there at 6 or 8 p.m.
As the tacky gadget ads say, but wait, there's more. If you still need to get your game on, the Teen Magic Club meets on Mondays to play Magic the Gathering. Teen Gaming is on Tuesdays, hosting an assortment of games for Wii and Xbox. These are at different locations of the Denver Public Library system, so be sure to check their website for more information.
Take your gaming to the next level with Mile High Comics Gaming Tournament. Battle against opponents playing Magic the Gathering on Fridays or test your Pokemon skills on Wednesdays at the Lakewood store.
It would be pretty cool to be a mermaid, though it would be pretty hard to breathe underwater. Plus, it's just a myth, right? Well, at the Denver Aquarium, you can experience the wonders of mermaids with your own eyes at the Mystic Mermaid exhibit. The Under the Sea show is every Sunday, Monday, Friday, and Saturday.
It would also be cool to be a pilot, which isn't a mythical job. Do you want to experience what it's like to sit in a cockpit even if you don't have any flying experience? Wings Over the Rockies Museum has a cockpit demo day coming up on November 28th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
You know what else would be cool? Being a robot. You can still catch Robots Rising at the Longmont Museum now through January 3rd.
Mix sci-fi and melty cheesy goodness and you've got yourself the movie Starship Troopers. Watch as humans battle giant alien bugs to protect their land. Come down to the Alamo Drafthouse on November 24th to watch the movie and enjoy a nerdy night filled with laughs.
What do you get when you mix a museum with nerdy things? Well, that's actually most museums. That does describe the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, so we'll go with that. DMNS, as it's called, has the Power of Poison exhibit running through January 10th. Was poison used as a murder weapon? Get your deductive skills going at the International Exhibition of Sherlock Holmes, running now through January 31st. We'll be there, will you?
It's almost the end of November, which means it's almost December. Zoo lights will be back. Experience the zoo at night with over 70 acres lit up like New York Times Square. This annual event begins December 4th and runs through January 3rd.
Share your poetry with Denver or enjoy listening to others' poetry at Poetry Open Mic. Listen, read, and relax with fellow nerds at the Tattered Cover Bookstore on November 24th. For more information on any of these events, look at their websites. And now, let's look at some misconceptions about our favorite detective, Sherlock Holmes. M squared, that would be Michaela and Mara, resident nerds, please come join us on set.
All right.
Okay.
So we are going to be playing a Sherlockian game.
There we go.
Doing a lot of cool Sherlockian things.
Got our nerds coming on to join us in this wonderful game of Sherlock misconceptions. So, what we've got here is this wonderful board with lots of different Sherlockian type clues. I will spin said board, and the rest of our nerds will try to guess what the misconception is related to Sherlock, and then I will give the correct misconception.
Yes.
So with that in mind, are we ready to begin?
I believe so.
I got it. Okay, we have number 1. We are misquoting Sherlock. What do you think the misconception is?
Elementary, my dear Watson. He never said that.
good one.
I think. Let's see.
Well-
Anyone else have anything else?
This clue, I have the correct thing here, except that it doesn't match what I have on the board.
What?
So, yeah, Una was correct. I unfortunately don't have that here, but luckily we have our producers in our ear telling me that she was correct. So,
Good job,
go
Una.
Una.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
what he actually said was elementary at one point and my dear Watson at another point, but those two things never coincided. So, you know what? Elementary. My
Spin
dear
it again,
Una.
dear
Would have
friend.
never guessed.
Okay, number 7. Sherlock's track record.
I think he has more unsolved cases than he lets people know. If that makes sense.
All right.
Yes, what the card says here is that the misconception is that he was always right and solved every case. But in fact, he specifies that he was beaten 4 times.
Oh.
Specified himself that he was beaten 4 times. 3 times by men and 1 time by a woman. And Watson also mentions multiple cases that Holmes can't solve. So there's a couple times where he can't rescue people and a couple where he gets the wrong conclusion.
There
So
you go.
while we think of him as being infallible, that is in
He
fact
has in stake.
wrong.
He has, indeed, 4 fouls.
Oh.
Yes, he's not infallible. He's fallible.
Oh.
Okay, number 14. Moriarty, Moriarty, Moriarty.
I have no idea what the misconception would be on Moriarty.
I'm sure there's something. I feel like Moriarty was an amazing villain, but kind of useless.
Useless.
Maybe?
I
have
also
no
don't have
idea.
the clue for that one. So,
Let's say Moriarty was handsome. I bet he was butt ugly.
I mean,
True.
that's possible. Oh, wait. Yeah, there we go. No, I did find it.
Okay, so
Okay.
apparently the misconception is that Moriarty only appeared, or was only,
Yeah,
What?
yeah. So basically, Moriarty is not as big of a deal as everyone makes of him. He
was
was
only in
not
one
the only
story.
adversary. He was only in one story.
Yes.
And like Sherlock, BBC has basically been like, wow, look at Moriarty, but in the real stories, that's not as big of a
Yes.
deal.
True.
As we are
You
led to
lied to
believe.
me.
What do you know?
Very well.
BBC, man.
Silly BBC. Silly British people. Number
We
1
already
again.
did
We've
that.
already got that one. Let's do another one. Number 2.
Sherlock's trust in Watson. I bet he had a distrust for Watson just because let's go with opposites.
True.
There you go.
Yes, so what it says here is that the misconception is that Sherlock always trusted Watson. But in fact, Sherlock did respect Watson's medical skills, but didn't particularly trust Watson. So
wouldn't either.
in Baskerville, for example, he sends Watson to Dartmoor to follow the events. Sherlock also travels there in secret so that because he doesn't trust what Watson's going to tell
There you
him. And in another one, he pretends that he's sick because he doesn't think that Watson can keep a secret. And so basically, he just doesn't trust Watson, even though he like reappears and doesn't tell Watson that he wasn't dead, and all sorts of stuff like that.
Okay.
So isn't that great? Go
Maybe
Sherlock.
that's why he didn't tell Watson.
Ooh.
I mean, it's possible.
There you go.
Okay, we're gonna do one more. Let's see what it is. Number 4. Sherlock's
Ooh.
trademark clothing items.
So like the
Not a
deerstalker
scarf.
hat,
Oh?
I bet you it was the coat that
the
went with
coat and the hat.
the hat. I
Yeah.
bet you
Yeah,
that's
no
it.
scarf.
No
No
scarf.
scarf and no black trench coat.
BBC lies.
Maybe no pipe?
So, the misconception is that he wore an Irvness coat and a deerstalker hat.
Oh.
Bummer.
In
Cheers.
fact, he did wear a hat in the Boscombe Valley mystery in clothes fitting for the country, which are depicted in the illustration as the Iverness coat and deerstalker. But that is the one case, and only in the illustration. In London, he wore suits fitting of a gentleman. As you can see,
So more
everything
like
we
the
think
BBC
about him.
Sherlock.
Proud of
is
him.
wrong.
Interesting.
So there's so many other things that are wrong, but unfortunately, that's all we have for today. So I believe we're going to run a commercial, and we will be back in a few minutes. So thank you. We're going to have our guest. It's going to be pretty rad.
Welcome back, welcome back. We are here for Where on the Virtual Screen Am I? Where once again I will be trying so very hard for the Cooler Nerd title, but
Whatever. We all know I'm gonna
I've
win.
got to get it at this point. I mean, I think I'm good with this
Gotta
one, but we'll
win.
see, we'll see.
Okay, you ready?
I think I'm ready. Are
I'm
you
so
ready?
ready. I'm so ready.
You're so
Okay.
ready. All right. God, I hope you don't guess this. All right. This country boasts the world's first night zoo in the whole world.
Japan?
No. This country is the largest exporter of ornamental fish, 25% of the world market.
Bangladesh.
No. The highest man-made waterfall in the world, 30 meters high, is located in this country.
The Philippines?
Nope. This country had the first Hug Me Coca-Cola machine. It dispenses a bottle of Coke when a person wraps his or her arms around the machine.
Sweden?
Nope. This country was changed its time to. This country has changed its time zones. This is a difficult sentence for me to say. 6 times since 1905.
Switzerland?
Nope. According to research by the British Council, this country's people have the highest walking speed.
Highest walking speed? Denmark.
Nope, you've only got 3 more left, so you better get serious.
Ah!
The symbol of this country is a merlion, half fish, half lion creature.
I want one of those.
Right?
I don't know. No, I already guessed that. Finland?
No. The largest tropical orchid garden in the world is found in this country.
What? Tropical orchids. Madagascar?
No. This might be my victories, ladies and gentlemen. I could win this one more clue, Bridget. This country has the largest fountain in the world. It is known as the Fountain of Wealth.
China.
No! Yes! I am the cooler host, but we're going to keep going until she gets it. But I, Una Noel Bradley, am the cooler host. Yes. All right, Bridget. All right. We're just going to, I won't torture you any longer.
Thank you.
The first part of the word sounds like a vocalization of some kind.
That does not help me
Yeah.
in any way.
And the second would be like what you do when you put water from a pitcher into a glass.
Singapore.
Yep. I am victorious, ladies and gentlemen, but let's talk about the nerdy tie-ins, and I'm going to gloat. I am going to gloat, but I've got to read through this first. There is a Jedi Academy here. The
cool.
Saber Authority. Established just last year, the Saber Authority, your source for the Force, teaches lightsaber dueling based on a blend of Asian martial arts. It starts at, just $57 a month, which is cheaper and it's cheaper if you bring your own lightsaber.
Maybe an LED saber.
Ooh, there we go. They have a DC comic book superhero cafe. Operated by Cousteau Lifestyle Concepts, the Aquaman Justice Jumbo Prawn Cocktail, the Superman Man of Steel Barbecue Chicken Burrito, and best of all, the Dark Knight Mini Wagyu Beef Burger, complete with black bun, with the bat symbol on top. They hold over 60 world records, including the largest collection of tortoises and turtles. The fastest text messenger, fastest time to type a text message using a mobile phone, the longest human tooth extracted, the world's largest 3-dimensional balloon sculpture, the most couples on a blind date in 12 hours, the world's largest ant farm habitat, the world's largest high-definition video wall, the most games of Scrabble played simultaneously, the most couples married in 24 hours in a single location, and the world's largest cupcake mosaic, to name a few.
Wow.
The world's smallest optical mouse was created in Singapore and was developed by inventor Mr. Nigkai Chiang on the 10th of January in 2008 at Cyber Inc. Ptel Limited called the Z Nano Mouse. It measures just 42.5 millimeters in length and 20.5 millimeters for width and 17.6 millimeters for height. It has all the functionalities of a regular mouse. It is operated with a finger. The world's first bioluminescent flower was developed in Singapore by Professor Chia Tet Fat from the National Institute of Education on the 1st of December 1999. He used a white-petaled orchid known as the Denburium White Fairy No. 5 and combined it with the luciferase gene from fireflies. The resulting specimen emitted a greenish-white glow for up to 5 hours. The original Hawaii Five-0 series was actually filmed on location in Singapore in the year 1978. They created and sold the first thumb drives, and Singapore has the highest density of McDonald's fast food restaurant in the world. Singapore also has one of the highest rates of myopia or short-sightedness in the world. And the government has its own matchmaking department called the Social Development Unit. Detractors call it single, desperate, and ugly.
Ooh,
Which is brutal.
but you know, Singapore sounds pretty neat.
Yeah,
I wish I could go there. Whatever. I
Yeah.
guess I'll relinquish for now.
lots of
but
nerdy things.
Where's your crown, Una?
My crown, my dears, is right here. This is a sacred crown.
We all know I'll get it back next week.
Look
so
at
whatever.
me.
We're gonna run to commercial, and when we come back, we'll have a rad guest.
What is a pun, and why does my teacher tell me to stop using them in my essays?
Is there a formula of sorts for analyzing poetry?
If we had to leave Earth, where should we go?
Subtracting a negative is like adding a positive. So opposite of an opposite. Two wrongs make a right, I guess.
He went to bed, I went to bed. You wouldn't say, me went to bed, unless you're a caveman.
What is the hottest planet in the solar system?
A semicolon is like Wonder Woman. She can work alone. Coolness, cool points. We'll go
Cool points
there.
count a lot in the universal spectrum.
My Benson has fractions, so here's what the directions say.
Oh, what grade are you in?
Fourth,
You are very, very smart.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are back with our guest, Miss Erica Ortega, and we are here to talk to her about what she does and how she's nerdy and why she's here with us today. So let's start out with the big question. Tell us about your nerd cred.
My nerd cred. Oh boy. All right. So I was drama club president my senior year of high school.
Wow.
Which actually got me involved in the industry that I'm in now, which is hair and makeup. So I started doing theater for a really long time. So I got really into recreating period looks and styles and costuming and kind of led on from there.
Oh, that's
Cool.
neat. So what draws you specifically to special effects makeup?
I actually, when I was probably like about 3 years old, I think the Thriller video came out.
Hey,
And I was
yes.
deathly afraid of watching it. I love the song, but I couldn't watch the video. I had a fear of zombies, so that's kind of what got me into it. Is the only way to overcome your fear is to face it.
Gotcha, gotcha. So that's really how you got started, but like what kinds of special effects makeup do you do? Like anything in particular, or what makes up your repertoire?
I specialize particularly in hanging flesh and
Cool.
latex. I've been starting to get into a little bit more of that. I'm really wanting to dive into doing more prosthetics, but just kind of more simple latex applications and actually teaching folks how to use household items to create hanging
That's cool.
flesh and such.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. We've got some pictures from the company that you work for, Femme Fatale Denver. Could you tell us a little bit about these photos in the company?
Yeah, so Femme Fatale Denver is a company that originally was based out of Ohio. Jacqueline Allen Brooks is my co-partner in that business, and she started off by offering just like pinup 101 classes, and me being the nerd that I am, I was like, why don't we offer a zombie and pinup shoot? And we were quick to sign up some very enthusiastic ladies. Actually, Karen, the one that you're seeing right there now, she's actually done probably about 5 or 6 shoots with us so far. But it's really kind of a great opportunity for women who don't actually ever wear makeup or do their hair or anything to kind of come in and get dolled up and
That's
kind of
really
have a
neat.
whole
Yeah.
other side of themselves captured on film. So, yeah, I'm very proud to be a part of Femme Fatale Denver.
Cool. Do you get more special requests for makeup or like event street makeup things? Do you ever get requests like that or?
My biggest request right now is pinup. Like, we've been doing a lot of pinup lately. But definitely like around November, October, well, I guess October, September, that whole time I'm just busy with zombie. It's zombie, zombie, zombie.
Of course.
I'm not really sure what struck up the zombie craze, but it's everywhere.
There you are.
So street makeup is a lot about making the people look good, obviously, but a lot of special effects makeup is about making people look bad or scary. Do you have a preference for one or the other?
I like actually making people look the complete opposite of how they already look. I think that's the power of makeup, is the transformation that it brings. So, yeah, I think the idea of like I was always obsessed with that movie Monster with Charlize Theron, and obviously she's an amazingly gorgeous looking actress, and they made her look just god awful. So it's fascinating.
Yeah. Is there any cosplay or costuming makeup that you haven't had a chance to master but you would like to?
Ooh, probably. I would really love to get into doing drag makeup.
Oh,
yes.
Like, be able to do that.
I'm consistently fascinated every time I go to a drag
Yep.
show by that contouring.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
So in your opinion, what's the most difficult special effects makeup to do?
Oh, probably anything that's like a compound fracture, bones sticking out,
I bet that's
intestines. I haven't quite dove into any of that yet. That's actually on my next tier of
Yeah.
projects to accomplish.
Ooh. Goodness. Well, we are very excited for you to show us how to do hanging flesh. So we will be right back and we will be starting our demonstration. So hang with us.
For Alyssa White, painting was not her first job.
Went to the reserves and ended up going to Desert Storm.
Or even her second.
Then I ended up getting into the financial industry in real estate.
But she had good reason to change after the real estate market crashed several years ago.
Living through that and watching people lose so much and having that bubble burst made me really disenchanted with that industry, because I saw so many people losing everything on a daily basis, and I didn't really want to be a part of that.
As a single mom, financing a new education would be hard, if not impossible. But a good friend told her,
Here is an opportunity through the WIN program, which is Work Initiative Now program. They're sending people to Emily Griffiths for the building trades, and they're pretty much paying the whole thing.
Alyssa jumped at the chance for a new career. And what did she think of the program?
It was an absolutely wonderful program. The instructors that Emily Griffiths has are truly artists, in my opinion. It was awesome with what they know, what they taught, what they shared. I loved it. It was a 4-month program and got a job.
Right away, she was working.
Now I work at Higum Lindquist Paint Company.
A family-run business that's been around for quite some time.
My dad started the company in 1949.
Ron Lundquist says at the time, not many women were in the painting business.
Very few. In the late 80s, early 90s, that there would be one or two that would come through.
Now, over 65 years later,
my name is Ruth Ann Lundquist-Zuger, and I'm the president of Higum Lundquist.
Ruth Ann has strong feelings about women in the construction industry.
Painting is a great industry trade for women because of their skill set that they bring to the table, their organization, their attention to detail, and their cleanliness really helps on a painting job.
For Alyssa, she has found a new calling.
I really enjoy the work. I didn't think I would as much as I did, because it is physically demanding. You come home dog tired at the end of the day, but when people ask at the end of the day, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm dog tired, but I'm good.
And what does she have to tell other women who might be interested in this field?
Oh, do it. Do it, do it, do it.
With the help of Emily Griffith, Alyssa now sees her future with a fresh new look.
Welcome
Hello,
back.
hello.
We're gonna do some makeup here, so.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
So we're kind of doing this like a cooking show a little bit. We're gonna have the prep work, and then we're gonna have the finished product. So my dear friend Carla here with the camera, Carla. She's gonna be our demo model, kind of giving you guys an idea of the beginning of stages of how to get the latex applied and stuff like that. So as you guys can see here, simple toilet paper, and all I did is I took it. You kind of want to separate. One ply is usually the best because it just meshes with the rest of the skin really well. But what I'm taking is just small thin strips like this. And if you don't have liquid latex, that's totally fine. You can use Elmer's glue. It works just as well. But so as you guys can see on this side, I've actually kind of already created some flesh through here. And what I'm doing is just kind of pulling this away from the skin, and all it is the liquid latex with the tissue built up on it.
Wow.
Okay.
And so what I'm doing is just kind of ripping this away. I'm torturing her a little bit, but I think she likes it. Yeah. Woo! And there's our ripped flesh right there. So I'm going to show you guys how I create that. Carla, if you'll go ahead and turn this way for me here so everybody can see. The stuff smells delightful. I'm going to tell you right now. So basically what I'm doing is I'm applying in the area that I'm going to actually apply my tissue to. And you can create different kinds of effects like ripped mouths and, you know, if you wanted a ripped off eyeball or whatever, this is a great place to start. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the liquid latex right through here.
Yeah.
And let's go ahead and we'll come above the lip here. I'll kind of see if we have enough time, I'm going to show you guys how we do the ripped lip. Our finished product has the ripped lip look going on. So this is actually kind of cool because the Joker, I know the new movie's coming out with Jared Leto. You guys help me with this, please. This is where I lose my nerd credentials. But it's the one with Harley Quinn and all those guys in it. Suicide Squad, thank you so much. So in that, you know, like I think they're kind of combining the two looks of, you know, the Jack Nicholson Joker, and then they're taking the Heath Ledger and kind of merging them together with Jared Leto. So this is going to be kind of actually, I think, a really popular cosplay this year. So with that being said, I'm taking my tissue, I'm going to apply it right there on top of my latex. If it doesn't quite stick, that's okay. We're going to come around the edges and just make it flush with the rest of the skin. And like I said, this stuff smells absolutely delightful. You're about to find out in a minute. Just how
You
wonderful.
ready? You excited?
You ready?
Mm-hmm. Kind of makes you want tuna fish.
Oh, lovely.
Oh boy. Oh, I can't make my model laugh. So what I'm doing is just taking a generous amount of the latex and just applying it over the tissue. So this same effect can be done. You're taking Elmer's glue in the same kind of concept. I don't know if you guys ever did as a child, but I did. I used to sit there in class completely bored, and I would take the bottle of Elmer's glue and put it on my entire hand, and then peel it off.
I was doing that just
So
the other day.
yes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the same concept that we're creating here. And we got to try really hard not to make her laugh or smile too much because we want this to dry in a really good spot. And generally liquid latex, this one right here I'm using Graftobian, which I purchase most of my products from Makeup Mania, which is in Denver. It's off of 44th and Lowell. Graftobian, Ben Nye, those are generally the two product lines that I use quite a bit of. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of let that dry, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over on the other side. I'm going to kind of show you how to create dead flesh. We know that when somebody starts to decompose, we're dealing with a lot of the like blood. Wah!
Microphones
I'm stuck.
are great, aren't they?
It's okay. There we go. Yes. She's going to work with me. All right. So when we're creating dead flesh, what we're doing is the blood's leaving away from the skin. So actually it kind of helps if you want to become a really great makeup artist to understand the anatomy and the physiology behind, you know, human anatomy. So what I'm going to be doing is, as you can see throughout here, I don't know if you're catching this very well on screen, but creating dead flesh, I'm taking a combination. This is called a death wheel. This is from Ben Nye. And so what the death wheel does is it has your yellow, your greens, your blues, and it's going to help you in creating that cool undertone that happens when the body starts to decompose. So what I'm doing is I'm taking green and yellow and kind of combining the two. I'm going to take a little bit of blue. And what I'm kind of doing is I'm just kind of like creating some random little splotches here, because then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take the death flesh tone and go over this to blend. And what this is going to do is it's going to create what looks like bruised skin, decay. Especially like around the ripped skin areas, we're going to start getting a little bit more with the blue because we're creating some bruising. So this death wheel comes in really handy in helping to create that effect of bruised skin, of damaged nerves. So once we've done our dead flesh, another thing that's kind of a nice added little treat is to create veins. So what I'm doing is same palette, taking blue, and with the tip of a brush here, just gently drawing on veins, because those are starting to become exposed. So kind of created a little bit up through the top here. You guys can see those a little bit right in through there. Your eye looks blue, Carla. That's awesome. So now that we've gotten this side to dry quite a bit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking some tweezers here and go ahead and gently open your mouth a little bit for me, Carla. Perfect. This is where we're going to start ripping this away. Oh, yeah. Rip, rip, rip. And that's how we're going to be creating that ripped lip effect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and create some dimension. Coming in and darkening her through here. And then if you want to get really creative, you can, you know, do teeth and stuff like that and get really creative with it. And just fancy it up as much as you want. So I'm going to let you guys kind of mess around with some liquid latex. So I've got some strips cut right here for you.
I'm prepared.
So go ahead and lay down like a thin layer. Start off with like the cheek area. That's always a good place to start because you have kind of a big palette right there.
Are you ready, resident nerd?
I am.
You about to get zombified?
Excited that this is what you volunteered yourself for?
I'm prepared.
Okay, now you can't laugh for the rest of the show.
Great.
Very nice. So as she's working on her latex application over there, I'm going to be demonstrating some different bloods. So this is actually one of my favorites. It comes out around Halloween time, and it's at the spirit stores, so it's actually quite easy to pick up. But it's just a vampire blood. The reason why I love this so much is the way that it dries. Whoa, hi, air conditioning.
There's air conditioning. Great, I'll grab those.
So there's the vampire blood. We have the Ben Nye stage blood, and then they have flesh blood, which is a little bit thicker. So if you're wanting more of that like goopy, more like actual like intestines or gob coming out type stuff. So it's kind of cool. You can create those looks. So what I'm going to actually show you guys right through here is Miss Carla on the other side. I'll have you turn towards me. We're going to kind of paint her up through here because her skin just got ripped away.
You might need to rip some off.
So I'm coming in underneath her like ripped flesh through here. And we're going to give the appearance of like all the skin here has just been ripped down.
So we've got about 5 minutes to show us this awesomeness.
Okay, so we'll just apply some blood and then we'll be like the cooks in the kitchen. We'll bring out the finished product.
Yes.
All right, go ahead and look on
The
up, my
science of
darling.
television.
Some blood. Oh, so lovely. That dripped
much
down
realer now.
nicely. There we go. Bloody her up. Quite lovely.
Fun.
There you go. Get some beautiful ripped skin. You look quite lovely, my dear. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to switch out our models here. Thank you, Miss Carla. And we're going to bring on Miss Ari. She's our finished product zombie here. So what you're seeing here is dead flesh, hanging flesh. So with Miss Ari here, we've created the severed lip look.
Yes.
We've got some teeth showing right through there. So and we've created the veiny look on the neck there. So she's looking pretty dead. I think she looks pretty awesome. She would terrify me if I didn't know that was makeup otherwise.
So we're curious how you did the teeth. How did you go about making it? So
That was actually by accident. I was like, oh, it'd be kind of cool if there was teeth. So I just grabbed, actually this palette is one of those palettes you could pick up around Halloween time at Walgreens. And really all it is it's just a cream palette, and what it has on it is just like, you have kind of a dark burgundy, a red, a white, and a black, which are really all the colors that you need when you're creating like the zombie look. So I just went through in through the mouth area through here, applied some black, and then just with a smaller, finer toothbrush, yes, applied some white, and just creating some teepees for her.
Cool.
So kind of a fun look. So as you guys can see here, some contouring is basically what I'm doing. So I'm just creating some like depth, the like sunken in and hollowed look. A lot of these can be created with just simple eyeshadow palettes. Like everything you can buy to create a zombie look can be purchased at Walgreens or the drugstore or wherever. How are we doing?
I think you look pretty cool.
I think it looks pretty great.
I think she needs some more up on the top.
I think you were smart though. Look, you left kind of a lip, so when this dries, it's gonna be easy for you to kind of rip that away. Yeah. So, anything else that I could tell you guys about?
How long did it take you to put that together?
This actually, I've mastered my zombie looks. I think I have them down to about 30 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. Once you get used to like your drying time with your latex, you know exactly your application that you're gonna do. A lot of times too, you can go onto YouTube and just find tons of tutorials on different ways. One of the ones that's my new favorite is the lip one.
Yeah, that one's fun.
Yeah. I want to start getting into, people are creating like small faces. I don't know how they're doing it, but it's looking like the mouth like up here and the nose is up here.
That's weird.
They're really cool looks, and all it is like contouring. Juan Benito is, he's from Colorado. He's been doing all those like, he's done like Beyonce and just any celebrity that you can think of. And all it is contouring. Contouring and lighting, and it's pretty fascinating. So what you can do here after you've already created this, we should be pretty dry. Oh no, we're not quite there, but that's okay. You can start lifting this away, and that's really cool because
Ooh, wow.
as you can see, once you start layering on your latex, you do start to get that kind of like ripped fleshy look.
Nice.
Yeah,
So what you would do is you would just go in through here with like a regular makeup palette. And you can do like more natural looks. You don't have to create the dead skin look. You know what I mean? It's really totally up to your imagination, whatever you'd like to do.
Sweet.
So coming in here and painting your tissue so that it looks more like skin.
Sweet. Now, an equally important question as to how to put it on is how do you remove this once you're done?
So every latex is different. Generally with the latex that I use, simple soap and water. They also create spirit gum, which is a product by Ben Nye that's actually designed to remove anything that's like adhesive to the skin. Yeah, you want to be a little bit careful. Usually a lot of times too, you can use like 90% alcohol to remove it because it just kind of dries out the oiliness that's in the liquid latex. But yeah, there's just really all it is it's like painting on the flesh. You know what I mean? You're creating contouring.
Well, as amazing as this looks, we are unfortunately slowly but surely running out of time.
No!
I know.
Cheers.
I know, because you look awesome.
Yes.
But
Yeah, can we bring everyone on?
Yeah,
and
come
thank you
on,
all
come
for
on.
joining us today.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all the social media. Thank you.